Every so often, there's a change, a disruption, something that has never been done before, a moment in time when everything changes, when change is needed the most. This is one of those times. What will happen when an icon in the industry enters the world's largest market with a brand new model? Records will be broken. Lives will be changed. And nothing will remain the same. If you're watching this, you could be there. At the very beginning of what will be one of the biggest shifts the industry has ever seen. Watch as we deliver on a promise and a new vision like no one has ever seen before. Whatever you do, don't miss it.
Wow. Well, great afternoon, great morning, great evening, wherever you may be all around the world. Jason Cross here in the nation's capital here in the United States, Washington, D.C. And first, congratulations for jumping on this Iboomerang launch presentation. We're so excited to be 7 months into this historic launch of Iboomerang. And I just want to welcome you aboard. If it's already Sunday where you are, if you're in Europe, Asia, wherever you may be, just a hearty welcome to everyone that's out there today. We're going to go through what is really sweeping the globe, over 150 countries plus now positively impacted with this whole Iboomerang concept. A little bit about myself before we get kicked off here. Background in Wall Street finance, real estate development, really corporate America here in the US, and had some great opportunities coming up. And really was just looking for ways to be able to just improve my quality of life, my lifestyle. I mean, take the lid off of what was possible. I mean, going from well to wealthy, being able to have a project where you can actually impact others. And so, I looked at a lot of different types of concepts coming up as I was really seeing the limitations inside of corporate America, and looked at franchising, looked at, traditional business, and really stumbled into this whole industry of networking. And I can remember when I was first introduced being somewhat cynical, skeptical, a little bit negative. But I realized that if I wanted to actually have my experience grow, my education to grow, my income to grow, my impact to grow, that I had to be open to new concepts and new ways of thinking. And so I'm so glad that I actually found this industry, and it's just been such a blessing. I found my wife through network marketing and home-based business. And so it's just been awesome. And at the same time, what we've seen over the years is that, there was something missing, that there was a need for an evolution. And it's amazing because we actually had a visionary that was having a similar thought, a thought about, what could he do? He and his lovely wife, what could they do to really impact the planet in a positive way using this industry of home-based business? And that's exactly what we have our hands on here inside of Iboomerang. Holton bugs or lean bugs. Just 9-figure income earners inside of this industry, producers of dozens upon dozens upon dozens of millionaires and countless financially independent families all around the world. What you're looking at here today is their gift back to the industry. And what you're going to see today is absolutely just different. In fact, that's our hashtag. It is just different from absolutely anything that you have seen out in the marketplace. That's why I kicked off saying congratulations, because you've got a special opportunity to really latch onto this vision and do some very special things for yourself and your family. So we're going to go ahead and really dive on into this at this time. I do want to let you know here that there are some very adult incomes that we're going to be discussing. So strap in and understand this. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You earn every single dollar that you go after, and that it takes work, and that it is absolutely worth it. So with that, let's go ahead and just dive on in here. We talked about the fact that, you know, this industry, which is 70 years old, is absolutely due for a makeover, right? It's due for a refresher. It's due for something wholly different in the marketplace. And that's absolutely what you're looking at. Let's cast a vision first. We're talking about, what about a first-class consumer experience? What if we could put the customers first for a change, right? And in the process, what if we can deliver a perpetual residual income, right? Through the PRIB, that's right. Perpetual residual income. I mean, that's such a fantastic vision. Residual is so powerful. It's made such a difference in my life. In fact, it's my license plate on the car because it's like the eighth wonder of the world, right? Doing something one time and getting paid on it over and over and over again. And it's talked about in this industry all the time, but is it actually ever really delivered upon? We find that in this old model, it's really not. In fact, in the old model, you actually have the customers paying more, right? You can relate to this. You know, maybe it's been you or a friend or family members approached you and asked you to support them with this product or service. It costs a little bit more, right? Because they've got to pay all these different levels of distribution. Maybe it might be a great product, but you know, wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to absolutely ask our friends and family to pay more just to support us? So that's the old model. The old model also looks like only the strong recruiters win. I mean, if you've got that magnetism, the gift of gab, I mean, just, you know, if you've got that it factor, then you can be one of the 1, 2, or 3% building a massive team, strong recruiting that could actually have some success. But if you were not in that top 3%, then where was your opportunity? These are some of the things that, you know, Mr. Holton Buggs was analyzing and looking at in the marketplace, like what else could we do differently? And so what we want to do is drop a very simple but powerful model on you today. And how about this? What if we could do this? What if we only made money when customers save money? You only make money when customers save money. Drop a boom for that concept. And it's very simple concepts that can make all the difference. In fact, take a look at the impact that Uber has made, where, you know, they don't own any vehicles. They actually are just delivering a service, making it more convenient, more cost effective, and really putting the customers first. And for that, have become the fastest growing company in the history of business. What about Amazon? Putting the customers first, I mean, giving you just maximum flexibility. I mean, virtually on demand for literally pretty much anything that you could ever want. That's what we're talking about as far as this new model here. And so this is disruptive, right? In fact, I want you to go ahead and drop in the comments disruptive, right? Because we're talking about disrupting network marketing and disrupting business, period. And how are we going to get that done? Well, we're going to actually use as our front door into this technology play, because Ibuumerang is a technology. It is a philosophy. And we're going to use one of the most fantastic industries on the planet, one of my favorite industries I've been involved in the last 10 plus years, and that is absolutely travel. That's right, it's adult recess. In fact, time and money, no issue. What's the number one thing that people would want to do? That's right, they would absolutely want to travel. So go ahead, let us know in the comments, where would you want to go? Time and money, no issue, let us know. And while you're dropping that in the comments, just understand this, it is an $8 trillion industry. It is thousands of dollars a second all around the world. Take a look here, billions of dollars a day. Find where you are here in this chart and just understand that with the baby boomers retiring over 10,000 a day here in the US alone, and the children of the baby boomers, now the #1 traveling population, these millennials are all over the place. That just adds up to huge worldwide, global, ongoing demand for this flagship product here inside of the Ibuumerang ecosystem. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to be able to disrupt the marketplace by really just delivering on some technology and uncovering some secrets if you're ready for it. So did you know there's actually a little secret here in the travel space? And that is that it's two companies that have a duopoly on the online travel market, Booking Holdings and Expedia Group. Just a few years ago, now moving into 2020 now, right, their revenues are approaching combined $200 billion. And they're really marketing companies that just control brands that relate to a lot of different types of people. So if you don't like what you see at booking.com, you can just hop on over to Agoda. Don't like what you see there, then you move on over there to Priceline or to Kayak. But guess what? Booking Holdings owns the whole thing. Or you don't like what you see at Orbitz, so you jump on over to Travelocity. Don't like what you see there, so you go to Trivago. But Expedia Group owns the whole thing. And what they do is actually keep the prices in range, $5, $10, $20, $50, and they just trade in a range, but those range of prices is just a little bit more elevated, and that's what we call price parity. And so that results in elevated prices across the marketplace. But did you know that these two companies actually have another set of pricing that they make available? They make it available to people that know the secret. They make it available to people that are part of the club. And you actually today can be a part of the club, brought to us by one of our vendor partners, Extreme Travel, which is just a huge agency out of Dallas, Texas, with an incredible track record, 19 years between David Manning, Lori Spears, who really lead that operation there, and have really been recognized for top levels of leadership in the travel arena, from really representing the worldwide travel arena through CLIA, the Cruise Line International Association, to testifying right around the corner here on Capitol Hill, just talking about the impact that travel has on the economy, to just top honors and awards from the top cruise operators and vacation operators, as you see here. So, you know, they've really had incredible leadership and documentation as a host agency, and are a powerful partner for this whole iboomerang revolution. And one of the things that you're going to be able to take ownership of is your very own iGo travel booking platform. It's not a website. It is a booking engine platform that produces for our ambassadors. You'll be invited to be an ambassador today, up to 70% off retail prices on things like resorts and hotels and car rentals and cruises and resort weeks. I mean, it's just amazing. We're gonna get into it here in a moment. You'll also even have the access to exclusive just luxury experiences all around the world. We've already been to Riviera Maya, Mexico. We'll be in Morocco and Dubai and so many other places around the world going into 2020. And ultimately, you'll have over $8 trillion worth of inventory at your fingertips that you'll be able to have access to. So let's just give you some examples here of how this engine really works. So take a look here. You could go to New York City, where you'd expect to pay $300-400 a night for a 4-star room on Expedia. But you go to your iGo platform and you don't pay $339. You actually pay $178. Drop a boom for the savings in the city. What are you going to do with that savings? You're going to check out a Broadway show. Maybe you go out to a nice dinner. Maybe you're taking that carriage ride through Central Park, right? Whatever it is you want to do with the savings, it's real here inside of iboomerang. Hop across the pond over to Paris. I mean, incredibly expensive. Look at this, $400 a night for a hotel room there. But you go onto your iGo, same night, same hotel for $130. Look at that, $300 savings per night. You're not just going to go for one night. So can you imagine staying a long weekend and saving $1,000? Maybe you hit some more countries with the savings that you've generated from your Paris stay. That's what we're talking about. That's so special here inside of iboomerang. It even applies to car rentals. Look at this. Don't pay $400, pay closer to $200 and pocket the savings. But it also extends to resort weeks. This is one of my favorite tools here, because you've got an 8-day, 7-night portfolio of properties, some of which are all inclusive, that you actually can take down, not for $800 for the week, which is actually a great price, but you actually go for $500. Look at that, a $300 savings for the week. And these are the types of savings that are available all around the world 24/7. In fact, these are some actual reservation confirmations from some of our leaders. I'll just pull out one of them here on the far right. That's his name. You see him, Holton Buggs Jr., the CEO himself. They had to do some product testing when we were in the rollout phase of this concept. And so look at this. What if the savings was more than you actually spent? This was actually down there in Cabo San Lucas. Spent $1,300 and some change, saved close to $1,600. And how about this? Also earned rewards credits. That is like the triple victory, right? And so you can actually use those credits to then actually take more trips, right? So it's just a virtuous cycle that continues to compound, and the benefits are absolutely staggering. And really, when you think about this, this is a lifestyle ecosystem. We're not just talking travel and the hotel, the accommodations, the transportation. We're also talking about the things that people do when they travel, from the excursions to the theme parks, even going out to eat. In fact, you actually have restaurant savings in your hometown. So you can actually take advantage of this each and every day. And it's even backed by a price match guarantee. All those services that actually have the price match guarantee, it's 110%. Hotels, car rentals, weekly stays, all apply. So you can know that this delivers. Now, the question of the hour is this: do you boomerang? And I want to see it in the comments. Yes, I boomerang, right? Because again, this is a philosophy. What does a boomerang do when you throw it out correctly? It comes back to you. And so that's what we're talking about here inside of this concept. When you put out good, good comes back to you, right? When you're helping out, clients and doing right by the clients and customers, putting them first, guess what? Great things come back to you. It's just a philosophy. It's a way of being. And that's what we're all about here inside of this ecosystem. We're talking about sharing those savings, sharing 50% of the savings with our customers. And how about this? We're not going to charge them anything. That's just different. We're charging the customers nothing. There's no subscription fee. It's always free. It's free to set up. It's free to maintain. But we're sharing 50% of the savings. How about this? Each and every time we actually help a customer come on board with us, we're also able to take care of children that are malnourished all around the world. In fact, we have had a huge impact across thousands and thousands and thousands of young people all around the world just in our first launch of the first 7 months in business. We have over 225,000 customers all around the world that are already positioned and positioning themselves to benefit from this concept. Let's get into how this all works. So you see there on the upper left-hand corner, it's called TSA. That stands for Travel Savings Ambassador. That's each one of us. You're being invited today to become a part of this revolution as an ambassador with us. You'll see your savings are deeper. They're the deepest that are even possible here. I mean, check this out. This is up to 70% off this fantastic stay in the Yucatan Peninsula. In fact, we have been at this resort. It's fantastic. They grow their own food on the property. It's all inclusive, incredible stretch of beach. I mean, it's just amazing. And if you stayed there, a couple people for a week, 8 days, 7 nights, look at that. That's close to $5,000 for the week all in, right? Now, if you went on your engine and did the search, in this example here, you'd pay $1,467, not $4,800. Your savings as an ambassador is over $3,000, right, for the entire week. Boom for that savings right now. So you give out your own subscription, because you'll be giving these boomerangs out to customers. And think about when Uber was putting the app on people's phones. They didn't charge people for it. They just said, hey, look, just put this app on your phone, and when you need a ride, just press it, and it'll just be a better experience. You'll save some money, and it's all good, right? You do the same thing here, free for them to set up. Now, you'll notice they see half of the amount of the savings, right? So we're going to share half the savings. So they don't go for $1,467. They go for, you see there, $3,168. But they still see right here, you see where it says compare public prices. they're going to be able to see live in real time how they're saving based on the retail prices in the marketplace facing the public. So you're a rock star for them. You just saved them, look at this, $1,700. I mean, what's better than that, right? So they're getting a great deal. It costs them nothing. You're a hero rock star for them. Now let's take a look at what this all means for you. So the customer over here is saving $1,700. You and I know there's another $1,700 there that we have to play with. So what's going to happen with that? Well, we're going to take that amount and pay you half of that. 850 points? No. Credits? No. $850 cash. Boom, right? They save money and you make money. And how about this? There's another $600 that goes up in through the organization, gets paid out through the compensation model, and the company takes only 15% to actually operate Ibuumerang, paying out 85%. The lion's share of the cash flows are just being paid back out. I mean, what an incredible concept. It is a win-win-win, triple bottom line here inside of Ibuumerang. Now, let's run through some customer acquisition models, and then we'll be complete for the day. Let's look very conservatively here. How about this? What if, is this a fair assumption? Could we give away 10 of these customers today, this weekend, this week? Absolutely. Giving away savings? Absolutely. Okay, and so 10 customers, and then here's what we're going to say. Each customer is going to take a trip per year or a series of trips that equal $600 worth of savings. Okay, that's an assumption. And my wife and I, when we launched this in March, we said, you know what, Kimberly and I said, you know what, our anniversary is coming up. We need to use our business to do some product testing. And so we went to Brazil and we stayed at two different properties, one on Copacabana Beach, another on Ipanema Beach. Long weekend, saved $493 in a long weekend at two incredible properties that we would not have stayed at if it was full price. How about that, right? And so it was great to be able to have that experience on just a long weekend. So what would you think people can do over the course of an entire year? It's amazing. So that's $600 times a trip times 10 customers, that's $6,000 of savings. You cut that in half, that is $3,000 as a check back to you when you're actually making money, when your customers are saving money. Boom. 100 customers, giving away 2 per week for the next 50 weeks. Take 2 weeks off, pat yourself on the back for a job well done. That is now $60,000 of savings over the course of that year. That is $30,000 of savings that comes back to you in the form of a check in this example. And what about this example here? 1,000 customers. How do you get 1,000 customers? Well, you can give away about 1 a day for the next few years, or lose your mind and give away 3 a day for the next year. However you want to get it done, you get 1,000 customers for the year. That is $600,000 of savings in this example. Cut that in half. That's $300,000 that's coming in. Now, here's the question. How many people have you recruited? None. How much have your customers had to pay when they're not actually using the platform? Nothing. And so there's nothing for them to quit. It's just a win, right? They are benefiting or they're not paying anything. That is an awesome model, and it's just different. Now, let's say you did want to build a team, because let's face it, the wealthy build networks, right? Residual income across a leveraged network is awesome, okay? J. Paul Getty, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts, right? What if you could build a distribution channel of other travel savings ambassadors with no geographical limitations or boundaries? How powerful would that be? Well, let's just use a conservative example of 50 people on your team. They want the deepest savings imaginable. So they want to come on board as an ambassador, and they build a customer base as well. 500 customers in that example. We're going to use a 10% override on average, right? Because it can't get paid 50%. You're building a team. So we're going to use 10% as an average. That's an extra $20,000 a year with all those variables in that example. That's $20,000 a year in that income example. And how about this? That has nothing to do with your customers that you're building personally. It's powerful. Let's say we build a team of 250 ambassadors that are overriding 2,500 customers around the world. That is now a six-figure income in this example. And your customers are saving money. Now, let's think a little bit bigger. 1,000 ambassadors on the team. That's a 10,000 customer base in this example. That now puts you in the top 1% of income earners on the planet. And how about this? Let's say that all of the ambassadors quit. Because if you've been around the block in this industry, you know that the reps could be here today, but gone tomorrow. But what happens to your income in that example? Well, nothing. Why? Because it's based on the customers. And the customers don't have to pay anything to stay in the ecosystem. And oh, by the way, then the PRIB kicks in. Remember the perpetual residual income builder? What we're going to do is introduce other verticals into this customer base that we have amassed, and using data analytics and artificial intelligence, be able to understand what they want and then introduce other verticals. For example, we actually just bought our own ride sharing company that's actually going to be working alongside Uber and Lyft. And for the first time, allow you the opportunity to participate in this ride sharing revolution. Allow drivers to get paid, not just on the rides that they're doing, but what about a network of other drivers that they're executing rides as well? We're going to be able to introduce these verticals, technologies like telecommunications that use the big four networks through Boom Mobile, and still getting paid each and every day as these calls are made all around the world. We're going to show you how to get paid on that. And it all starts with this customer base and this giving spirit. That's the Iboomerang difference, because we are just different. And in fact, we also offer the opportunity to have upfront cash flow as soon as you're welcoming partners aboard as ambassadors and helping them get up and running. We've got some very, aggressive upfront cash flow where you can actually start cash flowing as soon as next week in this model. And everyone comes through our business by what we call the standby package. And you think about this: if you're going, to the airport, you need a couple things, right? You need to be able to get through security, and you want a confirmed seat on the plane, right? Standby is your starter kit. Gives you a boomerang customer site, 5 boomerangs to start out there in the marketplace with. And then you get our interactive presentation tool as well as the back office management system. However, you don't have a confirmed seat on the plane. What's that like when you go to the airport and you're flying standby, right? You are wishing, praying, hoping for an opportunity to get a seat, right? So we need to get you a seat on the plane. So you pick a package. Once you select standby for $49.95, you pick a package. Now, it's very simple. Each and every one of these packages comes with a $99 monthly hosting subscription, which takes care of the PRIB, all of the overhead, takes care of your Boomerang subscription. The entire ecosystem is run off of just $99 a month for each one of us, for each one of these packages. So very simple there. Coach, you've got hotels, flights, car rentals. Full disclosure on flights: don't expect savings on flights. There's no real margin in flights to begin with. They took commissions out like 20 years ago. Occasionally you may find like a long haul international flight have some savings, but just manage expectations. It's really just there for convenience, for one-stop shopping. Okay, does that make sense? You'll get 10 boomerangs included. That's your initial inventory of boomerangs to put out there in the marketplace. But very importantly, in all those examples that I gave, you would actually have to cut your check in half, because you see there you get paid 50% of the travel savings bonuses that are available. So you're leaving some money on the table there at the coach package. You do get 10% in the dual team if you decide to build a network. And when we put together the different luxury experiences around the world, you'll find out with the general lease of the company. That's a $250 buy-in, and it's worth $200 in business volume for our compensation plan. Next level is business class. We're going to layer in cruises that you'll have access to in addition to everything else. And importantly, you'll bump up to 250 boomerangs in inventory, and you get the full 100% of the travel savings bonuses that are due to you. And you see there you get about a 20% bump in that dual team pay and the comp plan over and above coach. and a week head start for the different luxury experiences that we put together around the world. That's $500 for business class, and it's worth $400 in business volume. And there's the flagship package. No surprise here. It's first class. It's the way you want to go. It's the lie back, lay flat seats, 180. It's, multiple meals served to you on, fine dining. This is the flagship. It's got a marketplace of luxury homes and villas, even a portfolio of timeshare properties where you can actually contribute your timeshare and make money on it if you want. It even has the resort weeks that we talked about, those 8-day, 7-night experiences. It's reserved for those first class members. 50 boomerangs out the gate, 50 boomerangs, which is amazing, right? Because you've got some good inventory to start with. And with all these packages, you're going to have the opportunity to earn more boomerangs. Number one question we get, you will absolutely earn more boomerangs. In fact, our top ambassador just crossed over 750 customers, right? So clearly, we're going to make available for you to have more and more customers. We're on a march to 1 million customers by this March of 2020. You'll get paid 100% of all those travel savings bonuses, 15% in the dual team, so a full 50% over and above coach, which is huge, and 2-week head start to be able to pick out the very best rooms and have just the best experience imaginable at our luxury trips around the world. That is a $1,000 buy-in, which is an absolute joke because this engine in other applications, without the whole boomerang model and concept, but this same engine is actually marketed for $10, $15, even $20,000 plus, people taking out mortgages to get what you can have for $1,000. Deal of the century inside of business. It is a powerful, powerful opportunity. And so that's why we recommend get started right now. Go ahead, select standby, and then pick your package, and let's get rocking and rolling. We are so excited about what's taking place right now. Already over $20 million has come through this network, and over 12 million of it has been paid out. Hundreds of thousands of customers have now actually been connected into this model. Travel savings bonuses are now flowing. I mean, hungry kids around the world are benefiting as customers are coming on board. It is the win-win-win, and we are absolutely just different. We can't wait to actually have you join into this revolution. And so get right back to the person that has you on this line. Let them know where you stand. Are you a customer? Are you in with us as an ambassador? And wherever you fall, we are just going to say, welcome aboard. We can't wait to see you on the beaches of the world. Make it an incredible day. Bye-bye, everybody.